Video today just to catch up. I spent the morning trying to tidy my shop out. The compressor was in here. There was all sorts of stuff all over the floor. I've still got compressor bits everywhere, and it just wasn't really in a place where I could do any work. So I spent the morning getting everything sorted out, and went through all the parts that have been turning up over the last month or so while we've been in lockdown. Not only was the lockdown a hold up, and that was off the back of the lockdown in China where the bodies come from, but they were slow to ship anyway. So it took a long time for it to get here, and one of my other suppliers that I get the hose barbs off, they've changed the dimensions since the last lot that I got, and now they're slightly oversized, so I'm going to have to change them. I have to go get some more local ones, so it's a bit of a pain, a little bit of a hold up, but I'm still on track. So I've got those three to go out urgently. We've got to pick up another one from my garage at home, an imported nozzle to get sent out as well, and also had to finish this one up that had been started by someone else. So it's been a busy morning, just trying to clear a bit of the backlog. So once I get the rest of these parts, I'll be able to put together this batch. Most of them have already sold. I think I've got a couple left to go, which is a little frustrating because I've ordered another set as well from overseas. I'm going to have to reorder some hose barb fittings, because now I'm going to have another couple of weeks wait before I can get the next batch out. So great that they're selling. Everyone seems to be quite happy with the result of these sort of brass throw together nozzles. They were only ever designed to just be a cheap get you going thing, but they've seemed to be very popular, and they seem to work very, very well. So I'm glad that's working out for people, and as long as you're wanting them, I'll keep making them. I have been thinking a little bit recently with the letdown and the supply chain of all the parts that I use to make these. I'm going to change the way I do things a little bit. So I've got a little bit of designing to do, and I'm probably going to start casting my own bodies and manufacturing all but the nozzles. And nozzles you can get sort of anywhere in the world, so they're not the biggest problem. I can get them locally. They're slightly more expensive than importing them, but I can get them easy enough, so they're not a big problem. But I want to go over the design that I'm using at the moment and try and make my own casting, just so I don't have to rely on international supply chains. So with what's been going on recently, it sort of showed me the weaknesses in the supply chain. I want to ramp up what I'm doing with my cabinet builds, and just try and focus a little bit more on the vapor blasters. There's a bit more of demand locally for the cabinets, and there seems to be a pretty good demand for the nozzles internationally. So I want to devote more of my time to doing that. But like I say, being let down by supply chains, it's pretty frustrating, and it's always hard to have to tell customers that I can't ship anything out until I can get things done. So fortunately, everybody's been really understanding. I guess we're all in a very, very similar position around the world, but it would be nice to be able to just go and grab some off the shelf and get them sent when everyone wants them. So just a quick update. Once I get on top of everything, I'm going to start going back to a bit more regular content. And I've got a couple more builds. I want to show a couple of options for easy build wash boxes. So I'll see if I can get on top of this and then get into those as soon as possible. But I wasn't able to get to the content that I wanted to throughout the break. I had a month, but the issue was there wasn't anything really new, and I didn't want to just put out a video for the sake of putting out a video. And as for the build plans, I got most of the way through them, but the images that I had, they weren't really descriptive enough. And if people are paying for plans, they should really be able to understand very easily just by, if not just reading it, by having a look at a image that's that's quite descriptive in itself, so you can actually see how things are supposed to go. So I will be building another one very, very shortly, and I'll document it a whole lot better, so those plans will have some pretty clear images along with the description, so it's easier to put your own together. So that's why I didn't put that out. I've been pretty busy with a whole bunch of other things, other projects that I'm working on at the moment. Unsure whether I'll bring them up and make that part of the channel as well. We'll just see how we go. But at the moment, my focus is on clearing the backlog, making sure you all get your stuff that you want, and go from there. So I hope everyone's doing well and staying safe, and I'll keep you up to date with what I'm doing, and hopefully I'll have all these shipped out to those people that have been waiting very, very patiently, I might say, for these Vapor Blaster guns. So yeah, thanks everyone.